I'm here with Allison Schultz, who has been nominated by her colleagues as Teacher of the Year at the Mahatma Gandhi Public School 23. Congratulations
Thank you.
and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about it. What do you teach?
I teach 8th grade biology and social studies. And in addition to that, I work with the students in a tribunal course in our social studies class, which we work on restorative justice in the school. I also am part of the Raspberry Pi, and I coach some of the sports, so I'm kind of all over the place at 23, which makes it really fun.
So you do a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
So tell me about that restorative practice and that tribunal.
So we have a group of 8th graders this year, and they work in a circle where we practice being comfortable in the uncomfortable, listening to each other. We have a talking piece, and we go around and share some of our feelings about the day. Sometimes the circles have a direct purpose. And then this year we've outreached to other classrooms. We've worked with first graders and a middle school class about some conflicts that they were having in their classroom and helping 6th and 7th graders prepare for 8th grade. So they're getting to learn from their peers, like they're directing the restorative instead of just having lunch detention or, suspensions. So they kind of get to hear from some of their peers about how they feel about classroom difficulties and things in middle school.
So do you have consequences, or it's more of a making up for an infraction?
Yes, I mean there can always be consequences, but more like how do we feel about this, and how can we not have it happen again in a positive way? Yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
It's really fun to watch some of these students who have had a few infractions under their belt in the past be leaders to the other kids and talk about it from their perspective.
Well, school's about learning, and we learn so much.
Right.
Not just the academics, but the social skills.
How to be people.
Which it's really a life lesson. So have you always taught this, or what's your experience?
So when I started, I've always taught middle school. I started teaching ELA, and then when I came to PS 23, I was kind of thrown into science, which I found to be a huge love. I started with earth science and physics, and now I'm teaching biology. So as I taught it, I was really learning a lot. And then I got this wonderful opportunity to be part of the Savas Co-Learning Lab, which has helped me so much. We always joke about learning about thinking. And that has helped me bring a lot of exciting hands-on lessons to my classroom with the science and engineering practices to get them really using their hands, thinking about what they're doing, why they're doing it, asking questions, having them drive the investigations. That's been a huge
So you said something,
career.
Thinking about thinking. What does that mean?
Well, it was frustrating to me in the beginning too, when they would ask it, if a student just asks a question and you want to sort of answer it for them, but getting them to think about well, if we're doing an investigation about plants and how they grow roots, well, why do you think that? And thinking about the reasoning or the science behind it, instead of just coming up with a go-to answer, just really, well, why? Keeping asking why, which when I was learning it, it was a little frustrating, and I can see my students getting okay,
give me the answer.
Yeah, but they eventually can get to it, which is fun to see that click.
So the teacher is not the Google in the classroom.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Did you always want to be a teacher?
You know what? Not since I was in high school. I was kind of jumped around what I wanted to do. And then when I graduated from college, I spent a few years traveling, and then I came back and started substitute teaching. And I said, I think this is it. And I fell in love with middle school from the beginning.
It's a complex
It
age.
is, yeah. But I find them to be very authentic, and I can meet them with a sense of humor, and we can talk about things that are going on in their lives. As you know, Mahatma Gandhi School is very diverse, so I get to meet a lot of kids from all over the world coming in, moving into this country, learning a new language, which I find to be so admirable at this age, just coming in and being thrown in a new country, learning a new language, making new friends, and I just find them inspiring. I find that really, really, really interesting.
Did you have a teacher that inspired you?
I did. I've had several. I had Miss Pimberg, Mrs. Dowling, that helped me at various points in my youth and development.
If there was a message that you could share with our community, with parents, what would that be?
Well, PS23 is a community school, so we do a lot with our community. I would say being involved is so important, showing up at the events, like the sporting events, or we have outreach programs. We've had a middle school lunch where we invited parents. We have the 8th graders help out with the little kids when we had a little sweetheart dance for the 2nd graders. Just getting involved and being present and just coming and smiling and enjoying some of the activities is really important, to be engaged.
Yeah. What do you know today as a more seasoned teacher that you wish you had known when you started out?
Well, classroom management is very important, but being myself, really, just and realizing that especially in middle school, everything seems like a big deal, and meeting them in that space so that you're not just like wiping away how they feel, like just making sure that you are there to hear them and listen to them. And really using your hands as much and having fun with them. That's what I would say to anyone wanting to be a teacher. Do you feel like doing something different every day, wearing a different hat every day? So I kind of wish I, knew that a little bit. Make sure that classroom management is tight and just be myself.
Well, classroom management takes time.
Yes, it does.
It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't, no.
No. Students don't come in and say, I'm going to sit here and listen because I'm waiting for all your knowledge.
Right.
No.
I'm going to raise my hand one at a time. No, it doesn't. Still, even today, it doesn't.
No, it isn't. But, we all take turns and we learned that in school.
Right.
So.
And being okay with a little bit of the noisy, like the controlled chaos.
Yes. Well, it is obvious why you were selected to represent your school. You're obviously very engrossed in your school, your community, and in the field of education. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Fernandez.
For all the thousands of children whose lives you make better.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.